All right, let's talk about one of the biggest, most high-stakes decisions a CFO is going to make, choosing the right partner for a finance transformation. If you get this right, you unlock incredible strategic value for the entire business. But if you get it wrong, well, you risk wasting millions in time and investment. This is about so much more than just new software. It's really about reshaping your entire finance function for what's coming next. So let's jump right into the framework.
And this is really the first question you've got to ask yourself. Is your finance function built for the past, or is it ready for the future? I mean, are your teams just buried in manual tasks, always looking backward, or are they armed with the tools to deliver proactive, data-driven insights that the business desperately needs to win? Your answer to this question really sets the stage for everything else.
So here's how we're going to break it down in this briefing. First, why this is so important now. Then, defining what you want to achieve before you even talk to vendors. We'll give you a framework for how to pick the right partner, warn you about a huge pitfall, and then wrap it all up with a checklist you can actually use.
Okay, let's get into it. The role of finance is just going through this massive shift, right? For years, it was seen as a cost center, just about keeping the books straight. But now, it's about driving strategic growth. And that's why this transformation isn't just a nice-to-have anymore. It's an absolute strategic imperative.
And this slide, this just lays it out perfectly. We are moving away from that traditional, reactive, siloed model, which is basically like driving while looking only in the rearview mirror. We're moving towards a modern finance function that is proactive, highly automated, and totally integrated into the core business strategy. The whole goal is to spend way less time reporting on what already happened and way more time predicting what's going to happen next.
So, this brings us to a really critical point. Before you even think about picking up the phone to talk to a vendor, you have to have a crystal clear vision of where you're going. What's your destination? Because if you don't, you're just letting the technology drive your strategy. And trust me, that is a recipe for disaster.
So what does a clear vision actually look like? Well, it's all about tangible business outcomes. For example, do you need to slash your financial close from, say, 10 days down to 3? Do you need to get your forecasting accuracy up from 75% to 95%? When you define these specific, measurable goals, you make sure your entire transformation project is tied directly to real business value. Okay, now we're getting to the real heart of this explainer. Once your vision is locked in, you need a solid, rigorous framework to evaluate any potential partners. This is how you're going to separate the true strategic advisors from the people who are just there to sell and implement software.
And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? Finance transformation is not a one-size-fits-all game. The challenges you face in manufacturing are totally different from those in retail or healthcare. You absolutely need a partner who gets the unique regulations and the specific operational headaches of your industry.
This table here breaks down the core areas you've got to dig into, and this is where the real work begins. First up, industry expertise. Why does it matter? Because a partner who knows your sector already understands the unique pressures, the regulatory hurdles, the supply chain quirks. You need to ask them to prove it. Second, tech capabilities. And look, this isn't just about a flashy demo. It's about their proven ability to integrate with your messy existing systems without causing total chaos. It's about building something that lasts. And third, and this one is so often overlooked, change management. How are they going to help your people get through this massive upheaval? A brilliant tool that nobody adopts is just a failed investment. When you start your search, you're going to see the widely recognized leaders, firms like Genpact or WNS, which is part of Capgemini. These are some of the top finance transformation partners in the world, but the key isn't the brand name, it's about getting sharp, specific answers to these questions.
All right, pay close attention to this next part. It is absolutely critical. We're going to talk about the most common and, frankly, the most expensive mistake that we see derail finance transformation projects over and over again. So what is this number one mistake? It's one of those things that seems so obvious when you say it out loud, but you would be shocked at how many organizations fall right into this trap. And there it is, automating a broken process. Just think about what that really means. If your current workflow is a mess, a fancy new system just helps you do the wrong things faster. You're just cementing your old problems in expensive new technology. It literally bakes your inefficiencies and risks right into your new tech stack. So, the right way to do it is this simple two-step approach. Step 1, you work with your partner to streamline and standardize your existing processes. You have to fix the foundation first, get rid of all the waste. Then, and only then, do you move to step 2 and apply the automation and technology. This is how you make sure your investment actually delivers the maximum possible return. Okay, let's pull all of this together now into one final actionable checklist. Think of this as your cheat sheet for when you're sitting in those critical meetings evaluating who you're going to trust with this project.
So here's what it all boils down to. Do they really, truly know your industry inside and out? Can they show you a proven, structured methodology? Do they have a real plan to help your people adapt? Are they talking about long-term strategic value, or are they just focused on short-term cost-cutting? And finally, is their solution going to grow with you? This is the difference between just a vendor and a true strategic partner.
And that leaves us with this final, crucial question. As you start this journey, I want you to ask yourself this every single time you meet with a potential partner. Are they here to help you build your future, or are they just trying to sell you a shinier way to automate your past? The answer to that question is going to define the future of your finance function and maybe even your entire organization.